The following program is brought to you by Rogers Anyplace TV. Enjoy exclusive content for free. Visit RogersAnyplaceTV.com.
Alors, je vais vous dire, les candidats ont choisi de s'asseoir où ils ont choisi. Et moi, je choisis d'abord. We will begin with Matt at the other end.
The other Matt.
The other Matt. The other Matt. So you will now be given, just 1 second, I'm at that age where I have to take off my glasses to see my phone. It's fun. Where is my timer? There it is. Okay. Stopwatch. Matt, when you're ready, please begin.
All right, guys. Well, my name's Matt Lowe. I'm the other Matt in the race, like I say. I'm an expatriate. I'm a Kentucky Canadian, a citizen for at least 6 years in this country. I will ignore you. I'm a resident of Vanier, and I decided to get in this race originally for crime prevention to stop the Salvation Army. But as I went through this, I know now that we have a lot of other issues in Vanier other than crime. We have market issues, we have development issues, and just all kinds of problems I think I can fix. One of the main things I want to do is develop Montreal Road in this area in the true French Quarter in the spirit of Little Italy and Chinatown. The plans have been, I don't know why we've never done this. We should have this. We don't need attention in this ward, and it'll be a great way to do it. We don't have an arch. We don't have no municipal child care centers. And we don't have, in my opinion, no proper leadership to take us into the next 4 years to get rid of the Salvation Army, develop Montreal Road, lower crime, and just make this a great place to live for everybody. Now, I'm here to do that. I got several ways we can do that, for everything from special purpose bylaws to basically just living in this community. That's just 2 minutes from my house, and I want to be counselor of the ward I live in. Thank you all. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you. For the record, that was 1 minute, 15 seconds, so thank you very much, Mr. Lowe, already respecting guidelines. I like it. C'est maintenant votre tour, Monsieur Harris. I forgot to say, the candidates and you are welcome to ask and speak in whatever language you want. Alors, vous êtes plus que bienvenus de parler dans la langue de votre choix, et les candidats vont répondre dans la langue de la leur. Monsieur Harris.
Alors, bonsoir tout le monde. Nous sommes sur des terres algonquiennes et j'aimerais souligner the elders in the room from the Algonquin people and to recognize that we are on unceded Algonquin land. Cette élection est d'une importance capitale pour notre communauté. Nous avons des enjeux majeurs ici à Rideau-Vanier et ça fait longtemps qu'on a passé autour de la rondelle en blâmant une organisation ou une autre organisation. Maintenant, c'est le temps d'agir. Je suis une personne d'action. Je suis quelqu'un de très humble qui a fondé ma propre compagnie de médias. Moi, je travaille partout à travers ce pays en train de faire des documentaires, en train de faire des tournages. Je travaille aussi à Ottawa, une ville que j'aime. Mais maintenant, nous avons un choix à faire. Une élection, c'est le temps de se poser des questions et de dire qui est responsable pourquoi. Et moi, ce que je veux faire, c'est de définir le rôle de ce que doit être un conseiller. Qu'est-ce qu'on représente en tant que personne qui est élue à l'hôtel de ville afin de définir les balises qui sont ici à Rideau-Vanier. Nous avons été laissés de côté pendant longtemps. Nous sommes un peuple francophone. Nous avons un maire qui est indifférent à cette francophonie. Et il faut combattre ça de vive voix. Il faut s'unir en tant que communauté. Il faut se dire les vraies affaires. Moi, je ne suis pas quelqu'un qui va être d'accord avec tout le monde. Je ne suis pas quelqu'un qui va vous dire ce que vous voulez entendre.
Merci.
Mais ce que vous pouvez être certain, c'est que je serai quelqu'un qui va être transparent et responsable. Merci beaucoup.
Parfait, merci. Et finalement, merci. Et finalement à vous, M. Fleury.
Alors, bonsoir tout le monde, mon nom est Mathieu Fleury. Je suis le conseiller du quartier, je représente Vanier, la base de la Côte-de-Sable depuis les 8 dernières années. C'est un plaisir et un privilège pour moi de vous représenter. On a travaillé de façon collaborative ces 8 dernières années. We've worked together on an amazing project. We've also fought big battles together. And that's been, some of our toughest time, but also some of our strongest time to come together. We are opposing the Salvation Army. I want to thank SOS Vanier for their great work. We are heading to court. Nothing will happen until the courts have reviewed. Till then, let's work together to fundraise to make the best legal team ahead of the 2019 dates. We've worked on many projects.
Mathieu,
The Rideau-Vanier
excusez,
Bridge for
Monsieur Fleury, on vous demande de vous asseoir, s'il vous plaît, excusez. Je vais vous rappeler, on vous demande de vous asseoir, excusez. Ça faisait pas partie du briefing, mais je viens de me le faire dire, alors je m'excuse énormément. C'est de ma faute et non pas de la vôtre. Je vais prendre l'occasion, par contre, de vous rappeler, vous, dans la salle, que c'est moi qui va modérer ce soir et non pas vous. Alors, I will be the moderator tonight. I don't need you to be, if that's possible. Alors, Monsieur Fleury, on vous a arrêté à 45 secondes. Je vous invite à continuer.
Parfait. Donc, I want to highlight some of the projects we've worked collaboratively on. Very well together. We've consulted, we've engaged with you, we've heard loud and clear some of those priorities. The Rideau-Vanier Bridge, which has connected our community. Investments in our parks. Le Parc Optimist, right behind the Beechwood Fire Station, which really has brought the community together. We've seen now the Beechwood Farmers Market take full use of the space on Saturday mornings. We have the infrastructure renewal. We've done more than 16 street renewal in our community. That's important. That's the underground utility, that's our water we drink, that's the lighting, that's the green infrastructure, and that's roads. That's important, new infrastructure in our community. J'espère qu'à travers le débat, on va avoir la chance de parler de certaines de nos priorités.
Merci beaucoup, Monsieur Fleury. Merci. Merci à tous les candidats. So the first question this evening is from community members. So the Community Association gathered several questions ahead of time and prioritized them. So in the event that you would have no questions, I have 9 in front of me, but I'm hoping to only ask 4 and give you the opportunity to speak. Alors, c'est ça, l'association communautaire a recueilli plusieurs questions et je vais les poser à leur nom ce soir dans l'éventualité où est-ce que vous n'avez pas de questions et je ne suis pas certaine que ça va être le cas. J'en aurai d'autres à poser, mais je m'en tiens à 4 pour l'instant. In regards to city envisioning, what is your vision for Vanier, and what commitment do you make to ensure that your vision is realized? So we started with Mr. Lowe. This time I will start with Monsieur Harris.
Merci beaucoup. Très bonne question. Vision pour Vanier. Vanier, c'est un endroit spécial dans l'ombre du Parlement qui a été laissé de côté pendant tellement longtemps, mais qui a des personnes incroyables qui sont ici. Et puis ma vision, c'est de refaire ce que Vanier était dans le temps, mais aussi de parfaire ce que Vanier est maintenant. Nous avons des personnes ici, nous avons des travaillants. Nous avons des personnes ici, nous avons des nouveaux arrivants. Nous avons des personnes ici qui parlent toutes les langues. Et puis, ce qu'on doit faire en termes d'une vision, c'est de valoriser cela. Et moi, ce que je vois, c'est un quartier international de la francophonie sur le chemin Montréal afin d'intégrer toutes les communautés francophones et puis d'amener des touristes du Parlement pour qu'ils viennent voir ce qu'on fait ici à Vanier. Ça peut être des touristes pour des entreprises sociales, ça peut être des touristes pour des entreprises de technologie, ça pourrait être des touristes pour la nourriture, pour le commerce, pour d'autres affaires. Mais ici à Vanier, ce que nous avons a été laissé de côté et ce qui est important, c'est de valoriser ça. Moi, je suis un champion là-dedans, c'est ce que je fais pour mon métier et je peux vous assurer qu'on va respecter Vanier quand je serai votre prochain conseiller. Merci beaucoup.
Oops, pardon. Alors, sorry? So I will remind everybody that you and the candidates have the opportunity to speak in whichever language they want to. So that was Mr. Harris's choice. I am now moving along to Mr. Fleury. You have 60 seconds.
Merci. Je vous inviterai à visiter le site web de la Ville d'Ottawa, ottawa.ca, puis mettez Vision Vanier. Vous allez voir l'ampleur du travail qu'on a fait pour amener des projets importants pour notre communauté. Mais vous savez, à part la ville, c'est nous qui formons notre communauté de Vanier. On a de belles infrastructures quand on pense au centre Wabano, quand on pense à la cabane à sucre, quand on pense au centre Pauline-Charon, à la grotte de Lourdes. Il y a tellement bel espace. Puis ce qui fait notre force, c'est notre communauté, ce sont les gens. La ville, ce qu'elle peut faire, puis c'est ça sur quoi on travaille. Moi, ça fait plus de 6 ans, depuis qu'on a complété la rue Rideau. Maintenant, on s'attarde au corridor du chemin Montréal. Alors, c'est l'infrastructure, refaire le chemin Montréal, a massive project, redoing Montreal Road from the bridge right through to Saint-Laurent, bringing in for the first time in our city the Community Improvement Plan, which is the economic tool for the city to incentivize new businesses. At the same time, continuing to invest in our parks. À Riverain Park, on a fait le parc Optimist, maintenant on veut faire le parc Riverain.
C'est fini. Excusez. Merci. And finally, Mr. Lowe, Your 60 seconds begin now.
Merci. Check bank. Regarde-moi. My français is bien pas bon, là. But being able to speak French doesn't necessarily make you a good leader. But I understand everyone here. I plan to make Vanier into the true French Quarter. We got to develop this in the spirit of Little Italy and Chinatown. We got to bring this development. We got to get these payday loans and pawn shops out of here and bring in restaurants, craft markets. We got to clean up this city, and we got to start at the municipal level. And it's easy to do. You just got to have cooperation in City Hall. And City Hall, unfortunately, convenes in English. The last time I watched. That's my vision. Now, I might have the professionalism, these other guys and all this, but I live here, and I know what's right here, and I know what to do here. We need to get rid of this counselor and have 4 years of prosperity. And if I haven't made this place into the true quarter French Vanier in 4 years, I'll
Thank
quit.
you,
I'll
Mr.
run here.
Lowe. Thank you. Merci. Excusez-moi, j'essaie de refaire. La prochaine question. La deuxième question. Quelle est votre vision du chemin Montréal, le quartier français? Quel engagement ou projet allez-vous entreprendre pour promouvoir, revitaliser et soutenir le caractère francophone du quartier français à Vanier? Est-ce que vous soutenez d'abord et avant tout l'idée d'un quartier français sur le chemin Montréal? Alors, on a commencé par M. Lowe, ensuite M. Harris, et maintenant à votre tour, M. Fleury.
Merci. Moi, j'appuie la francophonie à l'échelle de la ville. Comme vous le savez, j'ai été le porte-étendard du mouvement Ottawa-Ville bilingue. Ça a été un dossier hyper important. La ville est officiellement bilingue. On l'a eu à la fin 2017. Évidemment, dans notre communauté, la force de la communauté, qu'on parlait tout à l'heure du Centre Pauline-Charon, du Sentier des murales, les 34 murales qu'on en a qui reflètent notre histoire. Alors pour moi, les objectifs de continuer à épanouir les services à la communauté, l'ensemble de la communauté, c'est hyper important. Puis définir au niveau commercial l'artère chemin Montréal comme un corridor francophone, je pense que c'est une initiative de la zone d'amélioration commerciale qui est importante. Mais oublions pas que la communauté francophone se retrouve à travers la ville. Puis c'est important, on est un peuple fondateur, au même titre que les anglophones. Puis on se retrouve à Orléans, on se retrouve à Stittsville, on se retrouve dans le sud. Alors, moi, je voudrais pas qu'un résident dans l'ouest de la ville se fasse dire « déménage à Vanier » parce que c'est là où seulement les francophones sont. Alors, c'est important de trouver un équilibre, promouvoir la francophonie et dans la communauté.
Monsieur Fleury, je vous l'ai dit, je vais vous en tenir. Merci beaucoup. Excusez-nous. Alors, on tourne maintenant à Mr. Lowe. Do you need me? Tu as bien compris la question ou tu veux que je la repose en anglais? Would you like me to say it for you in English? Yes. So the idea is, what is your vision for Montreal Road, which is the French Quarter? And which projects or engagements will you take on and promote in order to revitalize and sustain the francophone character of the Quartier Vanier, Quartier Français in Vanier? And first and foremost, do you support the French Quarter of the Quartier Vanier? That's pretty good translation on the spot.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, this is one of the things to run on. I'll tell you what's a shame.
So we're starting now.
Okay. I'll tell you what it's a shame when it comes to the Francophone community. As under the last 3 terms of councils, we've had at least 6 municipal child care centers closed, despite $4 million in capital reserves sitting there to help these things out. Now, I can't tell you, we need municipal, Francophone, Indigenous child care in this community like no other community around, because this is where it impacts most. My vision for Montreal, as everyone knows, we need an arch. We need the restaurants in there. We need the craft shops in there. We don't need the big chains in there. We need to take this place and clean it up. We need boots on the ground, more than a 2% increase in police budget, and a more solid patrol presence to knock down on the prostitutes, the drug dealers, and the Johns from Quebec circling up like a NASCAR track trying to pick these people up. I almost got hit by one today as I almost tried to YouTube him. But that's what we need to do. We need to clean it up, bring these businesses in here, work with private developers instead of these big businesses. We need to work with private individuals, private restaurants, private craft shops, and do everything we can do to raise money for the municipality to make it happen. We got a bed and breakfast tax, I think, of 4%.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lowe.
I think we could tap into that for improvement.
I'm going to hold you to it, too. Merci.
Merci,
Et finalement, Monsieur Harris, je vous donne 2 secondes, excusez. Et à vous, Monsieur Harris.
Oui, premièrement, j'aimerais dire que le chemin Montréal, tel qu'il est présentement, c'est dans une situation qui est très difficile. Moi, j'ai fait un point d'avoir mon bureau au 325 chemin Montréal. Nous avons la potentialité d'une méga refuge qui va venir ici. Je suis contre ce méga refuge-là, mais à travers mon porte-à-porte, dans des endroits comme le 300 Lacasse, dans des endroits de Ottawa Community Housing, les gens ne se sentent pas en sécurité. Les mères ne se sentent pas en sécurité pour marcher avec leurs petits jeunes sur le chemin Montréal. Il faut faire ce qui est nécessaire avant de faire ce qui est possible, afin de faire ce qui est impossible. Mais si nous ne faisons pas ce qui est nécessaire dans notre communauté, nous n'allons jamais atteindre cette idée de la francophonie internationale et intégrer ça dans une ville complètement bilingue. Et malheureusement, nous avons eu un conseiller avec un maire indifférent qui s'est positionné avec lui pendant longtemps. Et ça, ce n'est pas correct parce que ce maire-là, il n'a pas nos intérêts à cœur. Et puis, il faut se défendre ici pour les intérêts de la francophonie. Et c'est ce que je compte faire.
Merci. The next question, and this time we will begin with you, Mr. Lowe. Oh, is that right? Yes, I'm not mixing that up. I'm good? Okay. So this is as part of the Social Development and Housing Committee. Residents of Vanier have complained that they are underserved by OC Transpo, particularly those along the Route 12, with crowded buses, late buses, and no-show buses. Further service reductions are planned with the Montreal Road Revitalization Project. What concrete steps will you commit to ensure that service levels meet the needs of the community? And would you support an express Route 12 for residents west of Montreal Road? And your time will begin now.
Yes, I support the Express, by the way. I actually take the 12 bus about 3 or 4 times a month, and it is terribly overcrowded. There's just not enough buses. And I know sometimes they get backed up along there. Our results, our solution for this should be add more buses, more drivers. You know, if it's part-time trainees, we got to get these guys back. Thank you. So we got to add more buses for one, more bus, not as there more bus stops, because here they're going to take out some bus stops, by the way, in case you guys didn't know it. So like I said, we need more buses, more drivers. And I noticed today the 19 bus actually makes a right and goes down Montreal Road. I don't know why we don't have more than one stop. We only got the 12 bus. Why don't we have the 19 and whatever bus passes there also pick up some people too? Because the 19 does pass there. I watched it today. I watched it to make a right on Marie. I watched it go down there and poof, there it went. So I don't know why they can't pick up some people going that way. There's no stop for them, so they don't stop. So the solution is add more buses, add more bus drivers.
Thank you.
We got $73 million budget for buses. Why don't we...
Thank you. Monsieur Harris, c'est à vous.
Oui, moi, ma première question avec OC Transpo, je vais le dire en anglais, permettez-moi. Who do we fire? That's what I would say. Because franchement, je trouve ça inacceptable qu'on offre un service de même aux gens ici à Vanier, qui sont des gens qui prennent l'autobus et qui, pour une ville qui a focusé tellement longtemps sur un train léger, qui n'a aucune station à Vanier, je ne comprends pas. Et puis qui ensuite ne va pas offrir un service de qualité qui est sécure et puis qui est abordable pour nos personnes âgées et pour d'autres personnes qui prennent cet autobus-là. Je trouve ça inacceptable. Donc moi, la première chose, quand je vais rentrer, ce sera de regarder cette institution-là et travailler avec elle afin de savoir qui est responsable pour quoi et puis être transparent avec le monde. S'il y a un déménagement d'une station à l'autre, s'il y a une route qui va changer, eh bien qu'on le sache à l'avance. Parce que les gens qui prennent l'autobus, c'est des gens qui travaillent, c'est nos personnes d'âge d'or, et puis on doit se battre pour ces personnes-là. Et c'est ce que je vais faire. Merci.
Merci beaucoup. C'est bien à vous, Monsieur Fleury.
I'm your voice at City Hall on OC Transpo and on across so many issues in our community. The 12 is a major challenge for us. When we started the year, OC Transpo was canceling or delaying buses on the 12, over 1,600 a month. We started to focus month per month, and by the month of July, we reduced that number to 300. So I'm your voice at City Hall. Obviously, when the LRT will open, we want to make sure that we take those additional buses, the 170 buses, and that we reinvest them in our inner urban routes. And that means Montreal Road. That means offering options on Montreal Road. I was at the Transit Forum here yesterday, and great ideas came out of it. The 17, for example, which is a new route, why doesn't it go down Montreal Road? Those are all great information that we're hearing loud and clear as we do door knocking, as we engage on the issues, and that we plan to bring forward. OC Transpo, it's not this agent far from us. It's us. We're asking for better service. We're demanding better service.
Thank you.
And we will get it. We're caught in this LRT
Thank you.
thing, but once the LRT opens, we have an opportunity.
Thank you, Monsieur Fleury. And the last question from the community, unless none of you stand up, and I will remind you that the microphone is there. Alors, le micro est là. La prochaine question, c'est la vôtre. Alors, si vous êtes intéressé, vous fallait vous mettre en ligne, comme ça on va savoir que j'ai pas de questions à poser. If you're interested, you can go ask, stand in line, so that we know that people are interested. Otherwise, I will move to the next question. Alors, cette fois-ci, c'est vous, Monsieur Harris, qui allez commencer. And the question is, do you support a neighborhood policing model? And if so, would you support the community to encourage the Ottawa Police Service to revitalize this model? Vanier needs dedicated resources.
Yeah, so thank you. I'm going to answer this one in English briefly. I think that the current state of the police force is one that is demoralized. It is one that is underfunded, and the police right now on the streets are not making the arrests that they have to. And people on the streets are being champions. I've spoken to some on Rue Aymon. I've spoken to some on Sainte-Anne. I've spoken to some on La Fontaine. And it's not up to the community to defend itself against crime and safety. It's up to the community to live in harmony and feel safe walking down the road. And right now, we are putting too much pressure on community members that are exhausted and that need a break. And we have to support them at the city to do so. And I'm a person who has worked with the community advisory group on the police for 16 months. I have put surveys out all across this city. And in Hintonburg, they were able to clean up the streets. They are able to do this over here in Vanier. I am telling you, have hope. I am here. We will work together, and we will get this solved. Merci.
Monsieur Fleury?
So I didn't support the Ottawa Police model change. I was a strong proponent of proactive community policing where we knew our officers. We can work with our officers. They were dedicated to our zone. Obviously, the model changed, and now they're coming back. We've worked closely to show to the Ottawa Police it's not sustainable. You can't expect a business owner, you can't expect a resident to continue to call and call and call multiple times a day because of the crime that we're seeing, because of the drug activity, because of the various crimes. What the Ottawa Police has now confirmed is that they will bring 20 officers starting in January that will be proactively in our zone. So the model used to work, they didn't like it, they changed the model, and now they're coming back, and we're working. We demonstrated here in Vanier our efforts. Crime Prevention Vanier has done tremendous work, the association as well, the residents as well, and it's shown that we need the support from the Ottawa Police. We need to close those drug houses down, and we need to know who our officers are. That's why the police is there, is to serve the community.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So, Lorraine, oh my gosh.
I'm not that hard to
I
forget.
did not. I'm so sorry. Mr. Lowe, I apologize profusely. It is now your turn. Sorry.
Okay. On the community policing issue, this is one near and dear to my heart, as I've worked in the security sector and with police for a number of years. Neighborhood watches and all that stuff is effective, but like you said, we can't expect us to police ourselves. Now, between volunteer constable services, perhaps, but, we need more than a 2% increase in the budget to do it. I don't know how you cannot agree to a 2% increase in the police budget and expect to have more officers on duty to cover the overtime. If you see something, you got to say something. You got to report it online, and the crime map needs updated. Because once this crime map's updated, they can look at that map and see where the clusters of crime are in your neighborhood and focus the presence patrols and the time of day the police come around in those specific areas. But I know for a fact I've been robbed at least 2 in my car and 1 in my apartment, and all 3 of the crimes that were reported, and 1 had fingerprints, was not on the crime map yet. So we need the crime map updated, and just to be more aware in the community, and we need a more community representation from the police. I don't see a lot of police representatives up here, like at meetings like this, the community association, saying what they're going to do to make it better and taking questions from the public.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So we are now at the portion where I will ask community members. Lorraine, I did have a point of, do all candidates answer the questions, or are they specifically asked to specific? All of them will ask. So you are asking a question to all candidates, and I decide who goes first based on the order I have. Perfect. Clarification. I'm going to remind you all to please be brief and ask your questions succinctly. Alors, on vous demande votre breveté, parce que, as you can see, there is a very long lineup for questions. Alors, monsieur, so I'd ask you to first state your name, votre nom, s'il vous plaît, ensuite votre question. Allez-y.
Mon nom, c'est Bernard Racine. Je demande à monsieur Fleury, je vais l'appeler monsieur, qu'est-ce qu'il va faire avec la Montreal Road comme Macarthur? est-ce qu'il va faire ça la même chose? Parce que c'est un désastre. Comme la rue Somerset East, il y a 2 lignes pour les bicycles, 1 pour les autos. Ça, ils font face à un, là. Il y a quelqu'un qui va donner le chemin à l'autre.
OK.
Monsieur Fleury, qui doit répondre là-dessus. Il est tellement intelligent, il va nous répondre
OK. Je vais demander à tout le monde un peu de respect quand même. C'est quand même des gens qui donnent leur temps et leur argent devant nous, alors on manque pas de respect, bien qu'on peut faire notre point. Par contre, on va commencer par M. Fleury, parce que c'est le... Sorry, I'm asking everybody to demonstrate respect, and that we will begin with Mr. Fleury in this case because the question was specifically asked to him. I'm sorry? Oh, the question was whether or not Montreal Road will look like Macarthur, roughly. Well, be like Macarthur. So the gentleman's point was that Macarthur is a bit of a disaster, and he's asking if Montreal Road will be the same. Alors, à vous, M. Fleury.
Alors, merci pour votre question. C'est important, vous savez, les gros projets d'infrastructure sont faits en collaboration avec la communauté. On a un groupe de travail de résidents, d'entreprises pour chaque section de la rue qui passe à travers les priorités, qui passe à travers les objectifs, puis qui définissent à travers ça quels sont nos buts pour le corridor, pour donner une vision au chemin Montréal. Donc, on a eu une consultation publique en novembre. Suite à l'élection, il va en avoir une autre avec les commentaires qui ont été reçus de la première consultation. Et évidemment aussi des commentaires du groupe de travail parce qu'il y a eu plusieurs rencontres depuis la dernière consultation publique. Donc, tout ça pour vous dire que c'est pas à moi de décider ce que le corridor va avoir l'air, c'est à la communauté en collaboration avec les efforts du groupe de travail.
Merci beaucoup. Alors, would you either... I'm assuming you both want to answer. Alors, Monsieur Harris, on va aller à vous cette fois-ci.
Oui.
Regarde, on va peut-être se mélanger dans l'ordre, là, mais sachez que je vais essayer de donner l'ordre à tout le monde.
Yeah, so the Macarthur issue, I think a lot of folks were just surprised that that happened, period. And I've been to Rideau-Vanier. I've been on different areas canvassing, and this sort of sprung out of nowhere, and people didn't feel like they were consulted. I know that people are working hard for the Chemin Montréal, and that there's either for or against the bikes that are coming in. But the period is that we have to consult people, we have to be transparent, and we have to let people know. I don't think that it's having bikes everywhere is going to be something that's going to be in a cohesion with everything else. We have to have the bikes, but we also have to prioritize pedestrians. We are walkers over here, and I would have said for the Chemin Montréal, have some wider sidewalks, have the bike lanes, but have something that is cohesive. There are a lot of people who are against that thing on Macarthur, and I understand the frustration, but the frustration really comes from the lack of consultation. They just put it down, and people weren't consulted, and that's what's frustrating. I think that's why people are banging their heads and asking for change in the city, and that's what I believe. Thank you.
Thank you. And finally, you, Mr. Lowe.
Yes,
I didn't forget you this time.
Rue Macarthur's bien pas bon, là. Main Street, Montreal Road. I don't believe in bike lanes on main streets. If we want to develop Montreal Road, I'm sorry, cyclers, but for Montreal Road, no bike lanes. Yeah, because we got to have businesses there. You cannot get to these businesses and tripping over bike lanes and off sidewalks and do it. So no bike lanes on Montreal Road.
Okay, I'm hearing a lot of humming in the audience, and I'd like some respect, please, from the back. Otherwise, you will be asked to step outside. Thank you very much. I apologize, Mr. Lowe. You didn't deserve that.
So in closing, like I say, no bike lanes on Montreal Road, and Macarthur seriously needs to be looked at. We probably need to pull those things out and redo it. It's terrible to drive around. I drive there every day because I live here.
Thank you very much. I told you off the top I will be strict, and I will continue to do so. Alors, je vais être strict, je vous l'ai promis, et je vais rester à mon... Alors, madame?
All right. Can
Hello?
you hear me?
Yes.
So probably most people know what I'm going to be asking. I'm Carrie, and I'm one of the co-founders of a new transit riders group in Ottawa. And we are going to be pressuring City Hall to make OC Transpo a bit more responsive. Because you can talk about specific issues in the buses, the overcrowding and the lateness and the cancellations, but my big problem is that OC Transpo doesn't listen to the public, doesn't consult, and then doesn't listen to the public. So we're fairly new at this. We are looking for allies at City Hall. So my question to you is, one of the ideas that we're talking about is withdrawing the designated authority from OC Transpo so that City Hall, or councillors at City Hall, are the ones that have approval or veto power over routes. A, would you approve that? And B, if that's not such a great idea, what strategies would you suggest to make OC Transpo more responsive to the public that they're supposed to be serving?
I'll go
Okay.
first on that one.
All right.
Okay.
Why don't you?
Yeah, I support that because they got too much power. Look what happened to the 12 route. Out of blue, bang, they cut the route. We didn't know it. If it wasn't been for citizen activists, we wouldn't have no clue. And we wouldn't have got that route back. So they got too much power to make these decisions without consulting. I fully support you. That's all.
Thank you very much.
I'll go next and say yes, absolutely. I fully support it. A councillor has to be responsible for what's happening in their ward. And if the councillor doesn't have that ability to act on what's happening in their ward, they need to make sure that they can grab that power and they can do something. So I would absolutely respond to that in a positive manner. And I would like to say that the folks at OC Transpo, I've heard from people that this was coming down a long time ago, and how come we weren't consulted about it earlier? I've heard from people, from bus drivers saying, you know, that they were going to move the routes and that we just didn't learn about it quick enough. So this is happening over and over and over again on planning files, on transportation files, transparency and accountability. This is what we need here in Rideau-Vanier. Merci.
Thank you. Et Monsieur Fleury?
Merci de votre question. C'est une question qui est hyper importante. On veut que le transport en commun devienne un style de vie dans nos communautés urbaines. Puis évidemment, les communautés qui ne bénéficient pas directement du train léger, on doit avoir une attention toute particulière pour qu'on corrige les enjeux. Le transport en commun, c'est pas juste du lundi au vendredi durant les heures de pointe. Un style de vie, ça veut dire un service qui est efficace, pour lequel on peut s'attendre à un bon service, puis évidemment pour lequel il y a assez de capacité. Donc, moi, je suis favorable à toutes sortes de stratégies pour améliorer les consultations. Moi et Toby Nussbaum, on a organisé des consultations avant que le train léger ouvre. OC Transpo nous a été dans la salle, mais évidemment, ils ne nous ont pas écoutés parce qu'on a vu ce qu'ils ont proposé en septembre. En 24 heures, ils avaient proposé d'arrêter le 12 au centre Rideau. Nous, on est capable... ce que j'ai fait, c'est que je me suis tourné de bord, puis maintenant, le 12 est rendu à Metcalfe et Queen, qui n'est pas parfait. Il faut le rendre à banque. On continue à se déchirer, mais on a été capable de les faire avancer, du moins. Il faut
Merci. Je vais être capable de le faire, inquiétez-vous pas. Parfait.
Good evening. I'd like to thank the councillors for coming out, or excuse me, not the councillor, but the candidates for coming out. And there we go. Sorry, it's a lot easier because she's
much better, much better.
I was a second ago. I'd like to thank the potential candidates for coming out and discussing their issues with the crowd. I actually had two questions. One is much larger and one is specific to Vanier itself, but I'm not going to ask two questions because of the time factor and such.
Yes.
So
let's move along with the question.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Anyway, I had asked Councillor Fleury a question several weeks ago at the Vanier Community Association meeting, and it was in regards to OC Transpo. Because we already have the 6-month delay, and then at that point at the meeting, it was fresh that we had the extension that's going on for at least another 6 months or however long it'll be taking until next spring. My question was, in this gap of like a year now, potentially, but at that time, Councillor Fleury had explained to us that there was hundreds of millions of dollars, and then they were going to be... I'm setting up the... excuse me.
Yes.
Okay, the question is, are we collecting any interest on the money that we're not giving over to the LRT people for a year? I mean, there's so many social programs that are short of money. There's every time we turn around, that's the mantra. We have no money for this. So considering the amount of money involved and the interest rate. Thank you.
Monsieur Harris, c'est à vous de commencer. Allez-y.
Well, I am not the councillor yet, so I don't have the information to that question. But I would definitely say if there's any deal that happens where we have an opportunity to make some money off of interest, that we have to capitalize on that as much as possible. Il faut gérer nos avoirs, c'est précieux, c'est nos taxes, c'est nos impôts qui vont pour payer pour ça. C'est un contrat. Si nous avons une occasion de rembourser ou de faire des investissements dans la communauté. Donc, absolument, il faut poser cette question-là. Il faut des gens qui vont prévenir des problèmes avant qu'ils arrivent. Et puis ça, ce projet-là, ça a été risqué. On a perdu. Maintenant, nous sommes en attente. C'était supposé d'être là en 2017. Nous allons être en 2019. Donc, qu'est-ce qu'on fait avec cet argent-là et ce temps perdu? Oui, absolument. Investissons-le, remboursez des gens et puis faisons en sorte que nous allons avoir une capitale nationale dont nous pourrons être fiers. Merci.
Merci. If not, no, it's actually Mr. Fleury's turn, and then we'll go to you.
The LRT was supposed to open August of 2018. And it's an important project. It's the
May. It was May it was supposed to open.
okay, May of 2018.
Yeah.
There was a delay to August, and now obviously the delays have continued. What's important to know is that we're not giving that money to RTG. We are collecting interest on it, and so not only do they have to go and get their loans to pay their own employees during that period, they have a $4 million a month penalty because they have to cover our costs to operate 170 buses, and they have an additional $1 million penalty for not meeting the contract obligation per month. So we will continue to fine them as part of the contract agreement, and we are collecting on that last payment until it opens some additional revenue.
Okay. But the first 6 months you
Oh,
weren't.
there's no follow-up questions. I apologize. Mr. Lowe?
You know, this goes back to transparency at City Hall. What are they doing with it? What's it being spent on? Is it being spent on anything, or is it being put back in these projects, or now we've got these projects open, we'll have this much money, plus more. But I think it all goes back to what me and Terry's been talking about from the beginning, this transparency at City Hall, open books, what's this money going for, where's it at, who's doing what with it? You know, is it being spent on Spark Street, or is it sitting in a bank somewhere?
That was quick. You caught me having a sip. Mr. Next question. Prochaine question.
Take right to the point.
Approximately 75% of the population of Vanier are tenants. On Mark Avenue in Vanier, there are probably 95% are tenants. On September the 12th, there were 6 signs for one of the candidates and 3 signs for another of the candidates. The landlord got wind of this. He apparently didn't like the 6 signs and he had them removed, but left the other 3 signs. My question is, and apparently he was...
I need you to get to the question, please.
There will be a question. How does
it
this
better be in the next
accord
15
with your
seconds.
concept of how democracy should be administered by disenfranchising tenants?
Okay, so it's actually your turn, Mr. Fleury.
I was informed of that, and we did remove all of our signs because of that owner's decision. The issue, or what happened, was that the tenants came back to get their signs the following day. So we're in a weird position. If you go along Mark Street, there's some of our signs in windows. We don't play with signs. When I heard that Thierry's signs were removed by the owner, we decided to remove our signs because it doesn't send the right message. That owner has 2 applications for 2 properties, which will be consulted on in the fall. For me, I'm saying, look, I knock on every door. If a resident wants a lawn sign, great. If I'm not here to work for an owner, I work for the resident. So when we were informed of that, we removed all of our lawn signs. And now, I'm glad. I see that there's some city signs up there. There's some of mine as well. So now the tenants have come and got their signs back. So I'm not sure if there's further.
My question was, how does
That's
this
the end.
accord
There
with
is no
democracy?
follow-up questions.
That's my question.
There's no follow-up questions, sir. We are now
I've
Mr.
asked.
Lowe,
Sorry.
please.
Okay, it interferes with your freedom of speech. It interferes with your freedom of speech under your rights, If they come in your yard and take a sign, they're stealing, they're trespassing, they're interfering with the electoral process and limiting your freedom of speech under democracy conditions. And these owners, I don't know if they do it for political reasons, they just don't like the signs everywhere. But if a person rents that place and wants that sign, I tell my guys, if you can put it in the window, it'd be best so somebody doesn't steal it.
Thank you very
They
much.
interfere with the democracy 100%.
Thank you. And Mr. Harris?
I don't take any contributions from any developers. I never have and I never will. I'm not somebody who's in anybody's back pocket, and I'm somebody who will represent the community independently, regardless of which party is in power. I think that's what you need as a municipal councillor, and I don't like what I see. It's frustrating. It's frustrating for the people because people want change. They're asking for change. I'm not going to make any accusations up here tonight. I think that it's something that should be solved, and I thank the candidates next to me for attempting to solve it, but I am frustrated, just as you are, when you speak truth to power, people seem to tighten up and things happen, and I'll leave it at that. Merci.
Thank you. I would like to remind everybody that I'm going to be strict on questions. There's a very long lineup. Alors, il y a une très longue ligne. On vous demande, s'il vous plaît, de rester bref dans vos questions.
On a le temps?
Oui, allez-y.
On n'est pas pressé. Il est juste 8h moins 6.
Merci. Si vous voulez modérer, vous pouvez venir. Sinon, je vais continuer. C'est parfait?
OK. Alors, écoutez, plusieurs d'entre vous ici savez que j'aime faire des recherches. Alors, c'est un peu un hobby. Pour moi, je fais des recherches sur tout ce qui s'est passé. C'est un peu comme de l'analyse forensics. Alors, j'aimerais vous, d'abord aux candidats, vous poser les faits. Le 11 octobre 2016, OK? Oui, non, c'est mon préliminaire. Le 11 octobre 2016, on a le temps. Le 11 octobre 2016...
Oui, mais c'est quand même ce qu'on va essayer de faire. Non, excusez, c'est moi qui parle. On va essayer d'être juste pour tout le monde. Alors, on va essayer de prendre notre temps, poser des questions. C'est pas parce qu'il n'y a personne en ligne que les gens ne sont pas ici en train d'attendre que la...
Nathalie, je te demande de me laisser
Monsieur Deneau,
1 minute.
Je vais vous donner 1 minute, mais je vous demande aussi d'être bref, comme j'ai fait à tout le monde.
1 minute.
On est rendu à 22 secondes.
Surtout, Nathalie, 1 minute. Alors voilà, le 11 octobre 2016, OK, à l'Assemblée communautaire de Vanier, Mathieu Fleury a dit à l'Assemblée qu'il lui demandait si c'était vrai la rumeur que l'Armée du Salut avait acheté le motel Concorde. OK? Mathieu Fleury a répondu à ce moment-là, c'est seulement une rumeur. En avril 2017, des citoyens lui ont envoyé... En avril 2017, des citoyens lui ont envoyé...
OK, on lui laisse 15 secondes, s'il vous plaît.
En avril 2017, des citoyens lui ont posé la même question. Il a répondu que c'est une rumeur. Le 26 janvier 2018...
On arrête la chronologie et on passe à la question, s'il vous plaît.
Alors, j'aimerais savoir, OK, quand on se fait dire des choses comme ça... OK, j'ai maintenant la certitude que Mathieu Fleury savait déjà à l'été 2016 que l'Armée du Salut avait acheté le motel Concorde.
Et la question, s'il vous plaît.
Je voudrais savoir ce que vous pensez d'un conseiller qui ne dit pas la vérité à la communauté et aux médias concernant l'achat du motel et d'un conseiller qui nous a menti sur un enjeu aussi important.
Parfait.
Et je demande ce soir au conseiller Fleury de se retirer de la course OK, aux élections municipales, parce que, justement, il a perdu la légitimité morale.
OK, merci. La question a été posée. La question a été posée. Merci beaucoup. Mr. Lowe, you are first on this list, even though... Would you like me to translate? Would you like to translate, or shall I translate? Briefly, the question is, there is a series...
I'm going to do it.
Okay,
I can speak English.
I will request again that you be very brief.
On many occasions...
Okay, I will translate. There are several occasions, according to Monsieur Deneau, where he believes that Councillor Fleury has been inaccurate and has been disingenuous.
Has misled the community. Whether the Salvation Army had bought the motel.
Okay, we got it.
Okay.
Monsieur Lowe.
Not to say that.
Monsieur Lowe's turn, please.
Well, it's important that we hear that in English also.
Sorry.
So if I'm getting it right, you're talking about the transparency in the Salvation Army as to what we knew and when. Yeah, I want to know that too. I want to know when we heard the first word, and did that first word go from them to him to us? Or was there a delay, a week, a month, a year? Was there a non-disclosure statement signed that he couldn't say nothing? Or what was holding him back if he couldn't? I would like a little bit of transparency in this also. And unfortunately, Desalie, I wasn't there when it happened. The only person at this table that was Mr. Fleury, Councillor Fleury, and he'd be the one to answer that. But I want transparency. Disclosure now.
Monsieur Harris, c'est à votre tour.
Même question.
So, on n'utilise rien? Parfait.
Non, j'aimerais savoir
Alors,
la vérité.
Parfait. Monsieur Fleury, c'est votre tour.
Alors, je pense que j'ai démontré, la question, c'est vraiment au niveau de la transparence. Qu'est-ce qui se passe? Pourquoi? Vous savez, en tant qu'élu, on ne peut pas se baser sur des rumeurs. Il faut travailler sur des faits concrets. Et la journée que l'Armée du Salut a soumis sa demande, je suis sorti contre l'emplacement et contre le modèle. Ça faisait plusieurs mois qu'on travaillait pour essayer de les empêcher de soumettre leur projet. Ils prétendaient, on va considérer telle option, on va considérer telle option. Alors, on avait toujours confiance qu'ils étaient pour réviser, qu'ils étaient pour reconsidérer leur approche. Et finalement, on sait ce qui s'est produit. Ils ont soumis. La même semaine qu'ils ont soumis, on s'est organisé. J'ai organisé 10 groupes de travail. On a eu des records à l'Hôtel de Ville. On a démontré notre force. Et puis maintenant, on est plus organisé que jamais. On va gagner en cours en 2019. Alors, pour moi, l'Armée du Salut nous a failli à plusieurs égards. Elle n'a pas engagé.
Mathieu,
elle n'a pas consulté.
Mathieu, tu m'as menti.
Parfait.
Tu as
Excusez,
menti
merci
aux gens,
beaucoup.
tu m'as menti.
Merci beaucoup, M. Deneau. De toute façon, alors ça vient d'être dit ici, je vais répéter. You have asked your question. We will let other people ask theirs, please, out of respect for the community that's here. Thank you very much. Parfait. Alors, could I translate the answer? Do you want to translate the answer? I will translate the answer. Essentially, and please correct me as I wasn't taking notes, but essentially the councillor has said that he believes that the second that the Salvation Army project was announced, that he came out against it, and that he has been transparent. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting. If anybody... Tu voulais-tu rajouter quelque chose juste pour traduire en anglais, just quickly? Sorry. He based his actions on facts. Thank you. Thank you very much. Next question, please. Alors, on continue.
Vanier, c'est juste une partie du quartier Rideau-Vanier. On a vu avec l'Armée du Salut comment tu peux avoir des conflits entre une partie du quartier puis l'autre. Moi, je voudrais savoir de chaque conseiller, c'est quoi ces 3 priorités pour le quartier Rideau-Vanier. Vanier is just a small part of the Rideau-Vanier ward, and sometimes decisions can be made with that. We saw with the Salvation Army, where you resolve a problem in one part of the ward and create another one elsewhere. So I'd like to know what your 3 priorities are for the whole ward of Rideau-Vanier.
It's Monsieur Harris's turn.
Merci.
So, Monsieur Harris, on y va. Merci pour votre question.
Merci, thank you for the question. It's funny, when I first decided to run, people said, don't touch the homelessness issue, it's too big. Don't touch crime and safety, it is the way it is. Don't touch the trucks on King Edward, that's going to happen forever. And those are the 3 priorities that I have. That's why I'm running. Don't go into politics if you don't want to change the world. That's what I say. So this is what we need. We have to solve the systemic problems in this community, and starting by crime and safety, it has to be number 1. Starting by the homelessness issue, we have engendered 7,500 people that were in homeless shelters last year. I have people that want to go to this, find a home, and they don't want to go to the Salvation Army either. And this has to stop. The city is responsible. It has to own up to the fact that it helped create this problem, and we need to solve this problem once and for all. The trucks on King Edward, you're a tunnel. Why can't we talk about a bridge either? Why can't we have both? This is the nation's capital, after all. Why can't we ask for both? That's what I'll be asking for.
Thank you very much. Finalement, excusez un instant. Finalement, c'est à vous, M. Fleury.
Merci pour votre question. C'en est une importante. On a la meilleure communauté en ville, Basse-Ville, Côte-de-Sable et Vanier. Mes 4 priorités, c'est vraiment housing and homelessness, le logement. La ville doit innover, doit coordonner, puis doit vraiment prendre une nouvelle approche complète au niveau du logement. Offrir plus de logements abordables. Le chemin Montréal, on a parlé tout à l'heure des besoins en infrastructure, puis évidemment au niveau commercial avec le plan d'amélioration communautaire. Le tunnel des camions, connectant le pont McDonald-Quartier à la 417, à l'interchangeur de la promenade Vanier. Et puis évidemment, l'embellissement du marché bail. Ce sont mes 4 priorités.
Parfait. Merci. So the 3 priorities were...
Yeah, so the 4 priorities are
He still
housing
has
and
time.
homelessness. We need to innovate, coordinate, and lead. Montreal Road, obviously there's the infrastructure renewal. There's also the community improvement plan to incentivize and bring new local businesses. The truck tunnel, removing the interprovincial trucks from our downtown streets, connecting McDonald-Cartier Bridge to the 417 at the Vanier Parkway.
Perfect.
And the Byward Market beautification.
Great. That was 1 minute, 10 seconds with translation. I hope you allowed me to do that.
I'll be easy. This 3 priorities. Develop Vanier into the true French Quarter of Ottawa. Priority number 1. Stop the Salvation Army. Priority number 2. Lower the crime rate. And priority number 3. Merci.
Thank you very much.
Bonsoir, Suzanne Épine, résidente de Vanier. Merci à tous les résidents. Thank you for all the residents that are here. We're a real beautiful community here. So, unlike the Sandy Hill, who got the new art gallery and the Adawi Bridge, we, the Vanier community, got the Salvation Army mega project without notice and consultation. A project that threatens the survival of our community. This project on our main street, it will become a ghetto. For several years, many years, the section of Montreal Road is unhealthy, unsecure, and has daily presence. J'entends pas là, je parle trop
Ouais,
fort.
non, on vous entend.
Has daily presence
la question, là.
of illegal and uncontrolled activities. Many residents do not want to go on the road anymore. It's the Wild West. Montreal Road has become the Wild West.
And the
My question, and I'm asking all candidates, what concrete means will you use to ensure the protection and safety of the citizen of Vanier and the viability of our community, and in particular on Montreal Road? Merci.
Thank you. Merci, Monsieur Fleury. C'est à vous de commencer.
Suzanne, you asked the question in English, so I'm going to respond in English if you don't
Yes,
mind.
I just want to make a point of order. We will no longer be translating because that's taking up a lot of time and it's unfair time being given to other candidates. Alors, on y va?
So thank you for your question. It's very important. Perception and reality of crime and safety along our main streets and in Vanier is worrisome for all of us. The efforts of crime prevention of the community association and the entire community are laudable. People are making out of the ordinary efforts. And the city, the police, need to be proactive, present, by foot. We need to know our officers. We need to have that relationship. We need to have that trust. And we need to see the results. That is one of the behavioral piece. Outside that, I think the infrastructure actually plays an important role. So the renewal, the physical revitalization of the corridor from the bridge right through to Saint Laurent, standardizing the sidewalk width, improving the lighting, embellir, those are very important. And then the other one, which is our business mix, right? If you go down Montreal Road, think of the lack of business mix. Think of your last time you walked down, how many stores you'd stop by. And that's why, for the first time ever, I fought to bring in the community improvement plan.
I hated stopping you on the business question, I swear, but I have to do it. Merci. Mr. Lowe, it is now your turn.
All right, thank you. Keeping us safe a little bit. Several things we need to do is, one, we don't have no red light cameras. We need more cameras, like Fleury said, more lighting, more police presence, bicycle cops, patrol cops, boots on the ground. A little more focus on citizen activism in this. I mean, I don't hate when citizens police themselves, but we need to kind of put a little bit of fire into these neighborhood watch programs. We're slacking on that, give them maybe even a little bit of community budget to help them with tools to do it. But the main thing, we need more police, more cameras, more even special constables come in this area to help take up the patrols, and a bigger police budget to have those resources. Bike patrols, foot patrols, increased presence patrols by the cruisers, and like I say, just a better presence period to help it get done. Right now, we don't have nothing out here like that. One time in like 6 months, I saw police physically walking up and down Montreal Road, and it helped for about 2 hours, and after everyone left, the tide just came back in. So we need to keep that up. We need to keep that up. I haven't saw one bike cop in Montreal Road, I don't think, in 3 years.
It is, oh, thank you, that is your time. Thank you.
I know.
Oops. Merci. Mr. Harris, your turn.
Oui, yes. Merci pour la question. Très important. I think that on ne peut pas jouer la victime. On ne peut pas blâmer la police en tant que conseiller municipal. On ne peut pas blâmer 3-1. Moi, mon bureau, il va être sur le chemin Montréal. Quand les gens voudront venir me voir, ils pourront venir voir le chemin Montréal pour eux-mêmes. Et puis, ce chemin Montréal-là, ça va être un centre communautaire où les gens pourront s'intégrer dans la communauté avec le bureau qu'on va avoir ici. Je trouve que être responsable, ça veut dire c'est la faute du conseiller, finalement, qui doit prendre responsabilité pour être un vrai leader dans la communauté. C'est l'élu. C'est l'élu qui est là pendant 8 ans. C'est la personne qui est responsable. Et puis moi, je vais prendre ces responsabilités à cœur. Je vais y aller moi-même. On va parler aux gens. On va leur expliquer que ce n'est pas acceptable ni normal d'avoir qu'est-ce qui se passe sur le chemin Montréal présentement. And we have to stop that. And the councillor has to lead from the front. Have my office over there. everybody can come in. We're already doing it with what we're doing right now, and it is working. And people are working together.
Merci.
And have some optimism, folks, because we can turn this around. Merci.
Merci beaucoup.
Bonsoir. Ma question est pour les 3 candidats. Quelles sont les actions que vous allez poser pour continuer d'empêcher l'Armée du Salut de s'installer au 3-3 du chemin de Montréal?
Merci beaucoup. Alors, this time, Mr. Lowe, it's your turn to start. Is that right?
She's asking what we're going to do with the situation on Montreal Road.
She's asking what you're going to do to stop the installment at 333 Montreal Road.
Well, that's half a 666 in time for Halloween, by the way. It's the most haunted place in Ottawa. What we need to do is stop it. I think we can, if we can't do it in the courts, maybe we could have special purpose bylaws like we had to block the bunkhouses in Sandy Hill area. You know, we could do that. Special purpose bylaws, try to block it that way. And if not, you know, I always say Ottawa needs us more than we need Ottawa. Maybe we just referendum to split back in our own little ville and just be done with everything. Rideau-Vanier, Ottawa. But for real, to stop it, unless we can do it legally, we got to do it in the city council with a new council, a new mayor, hopefully sympathetic to us. And we do a special purpose bylaws and with cooperation of leadership and your peers, then we can get it done. Because when people are against you, you can't get nothing done in City Hall. Merci.
Merci. Monsieur Harris?
Oui, moi je suis fermement contre l'Armée du Salut qui repasse, qui veut s'installer dans le modèle. Je veux être clair là-dessus. Je suis contre le modèle de l'Armée du Salut qui veut s'installer ici. Je trouve que c'est le dossier de cette élection, la transparence et la responsabilité. Qu'est-ce qu'on peut faire pour l'arrêter? On doit travailler ensemble en tant que communauté, mais on a un plan pour régler la crise d'itinérance. Il faut sortir la demande afin que l'armée ne peut plus justifier la largeur et la grandeur d'un mégacentre sur le chemin Montréal. On va s'attaquer à l'itinérance à tous les jours de mon mandat. Pendant 4 ans, on ne va pas s'arrêter jusqu'à temps à ce que tout le monde dans notre communauté ait un logement abordable, un logement propre, et puis peut vivre dans la dignité. Et maintenant, ce n'est pas ce qui se passe. Nous sommes en train de gérer la misère dans cette ville-là avec un modèle de méga shelter où nous payons les centres pour les itinérants, des lits, et puis c'est un modèle qui n'est pas humain. Donc, on peut faire des affaires. Moi, je vais être là à tous les jours, et puis je vous remercie pour la confiance. Merci.
Merci. Finalement, M. Fleury. Mr. Fleury.
Alors, merci, Denise, pour ta question. C'est une question qu'on nous pose souvent aux portes. Comme tu sais, on cogne à chacune des portes. Puis ça, c'est une de nos fiertés, là, de vraiment connecter avec chaque résident à l'intérieur et à l'extérieur de la période électorale. Tu sais, l'étape directe et immédiate, c'est qu'on s'attend à la fin 2019 d'être entendu en cours. On se prépare pour avoir la meilleure équipe légale. Rien ne peut avoir lieu tant et aussi longtemps que la Cour n'a pas revu le dossier. Mais je ne m'assois pas sur mes lauriers. Comme tu sais, il y a une politique nationale du logement qui est venue en ligne de compte. Le gouvernement fédéral, le ministre m'a consulté directement. On met en place des mesures à travers la stratégie nationale de logement pour qu'un projet comme ça ne puisse jamais recevoir de fonds fédéraux. Au niveau de la province, on parle, évidemment, c'est un nouveau gouvernement, mais on avait entamé les discussions avec le gouvernement Wynne au sujet de tous les lits au niveau de la toxicomanie, pour s'assurer que les lits que l'Armée du Salut possède présentement dans le marché ne puissent pas être transférables dans un méga-site.
Merci beaucoup.
J'ai d'autres éléments.
Hein?
J'avais plusieurs éléments à ajouter.
Oui, sans doute. On a plein. Pardon? Ah oui, OK. Merci. Alors.
My name is Jane Scarf, and the topic I want to address is consultation or lack of consultation. City Hall, I understand that there was a so-called consultation done about the Salvation Army 350 megabed men's shelter on Montreal Road, which in my view didn't hold any of the necessary principles of consultation. They didn't publicize. They let you come for 5 minutes if you somehow heard from a bird that they were allowing this 5 minutes, which wasn't sufficient anyway because it was the day they made the decision. So obviously they're not going to respond and make changes if they're making the decision that day.
You know where I'm going, right?
I'm right on my question.
Okay.
My question is, do each of you know what the main principles of consultation are, the important principles of consultation.
Thank you very much. Alors, Mr. Harris. Mr. Harris, you are first at this question.
Thank you. I love that you asked that question. I think the first thing with consultation is, why didn't we, when we had 700 people au Père Blanc, au Centre Richelieu, où les gens étaient là parce qu'ils venaient de savoir que ce méga-centre était là, pourquoi avons-nous pas eu le droit de poser des questions à ce moment-là? Priorité numéro 1, pourquoi n'avons-nous pas eu la chance de poser des questions? Il faut pouvoir tenir les gens responsables. Et la consultation, ça passe par des différents niveaux, but the main one is engaging the community. If the community is engaged at the highest level, it has oversight on what happens in their neighborhood. Right now, you have a city that is in one lane and a community that is in the other lane, and they're not intersecting. And the city is doing what it wants, and the community is butting itself against a brick wall. And we have to stop that. We have to engage people. We can engage people, and I will engage people. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Fleury?
Thanks for your question. It's a very important one, and I have to say that when you look at the city, we are a big city. We offer a lot of great services, and we need to continue to modernize and innovate across from childcare, OC Transpo, and at the source of that is, what are the needs of the community? When do you consult with the community? How do you consult with the community? How do you communicate the decisions that the administration makes? And how do you revisit when those aren't made right? And we saw OC Transpo, for example, in September. The challenge that we have is there are democratic process under the Municipal and Planning Act. And if you don't have a partner that wants to engage, especially on the Planning Act, you're limited. And we tried, and it's not an excuse. The city needs to consult. It needs to do better on your voice on that front. We've continued to advocate. OC Transpo is a prime example. They came to Toby and I's consultation on the OC Transpo and then did something different. Okay. And we're bringing them back now. We're bringing them back to continue the consultation.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you very much. It's okay. All right.
I'll agree with Carrie on this one.
Oh, sorry. I always forget. I'm the worst person ever. Oh no. See, I've caused issues.
I was so angry because Matt wasn't consulted.
Exactly. What?
Oh, my little pony.
What's your papers there, Mr. Harris? Just so you know.
They're not answering my question. I want to know the specific principles.
Specific principles of consultation. Thank you. Is somebody is getting paper towel? It won't be long. Mr. Lowe, my sincere apologies.
You don't understand. This is my life, man. I'm telling you.
I know. I can tell. There's so much passion.
I love it. I love drama in a good way.
All right.
In this case, the principles of consultation, in my opinion, was us. We wasn't consulted, and the city just hates us. I live here, and that's just what it seems like anyway. We weren't consulted about the 12-bus route being stopped. We haven't been consulted about the Salvation Army properly. They haven't consulted the right amount of people in the right amount of time. And it looks like they're just using their own statistics.
Excuse me? Oh, sorry, you can't hear it?
I'll tell you like this. City Hall.
All right, you know what? We're going to give you a tiny bit more time.
All right.
Sorry about that. Thank you. I can't hear over there, so if you're not hearing, please, somebody wave at me, and I'll make sure that it gets asked properly.
Good.
Go ahead, Mr. Lowe. Are you all right?
You know what? As much water there as, no, not as much as in the subway this morning, but...
Oh, ouch.
That's in the spirit of the subway.
All right, Mr. Lowe, you were at 24 seconds. I will grant you 10.
Okay, we wasn't consulted. It just feels like City Hall doesn't care about us. Like Mayor Watson has an agenda, and that agenda does not include Vanier. It includes our money, but it doesn't include our opinion. And for principles of consultation, Jen, we was not consulted. The public wasn't consulted right. There wasn't consulted enough. A large amount of the population in different areas, and it just was a shoddy deal all the way around. We got shafted, so to speak, on it. City does not like us at all, and it shows in this administration. How should it be? It should be at least, I'm thinking,
He still has 15 seconds. Please go ahead. You said 15 seconds.
Okay, the proper consultation would be, like I say, the large section of the public was not consulted properly. It just seemed like they sampled instead of consulted, in my opinion.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Well, that was a complicated question.
Thank you.
It's like we have props.
All the drama is over. The movements are over. Mr. Harris, your papers are okay? You don't need anything else?
Everybody's okay.
Okay. I know, it's late. I know, it's tough. We're going to go to this question, though. That's a very good question back there, young sir. Sir, go ahead.
Robert McKell, Vanier resident for 28 years in the La Fontaine area. Matt was there canvassing last week sometime, so we got to talk, and you know my face by now, eh, Matt? Uh-huh. I asked him, and obviously the city hasn't heard jack in the past umpteen years, not just now, just forever. But I asked Matt, I says, what are you guys going to do about the prostitutes? Well, then he answered me just like a politician would.
And you're getting to your question, right?
It's coming. So
it needs to go quickly.
Well, you guys took forever. Give me some time.
Actually, I've been fair with everybody so far, so please.
So his answer, like a true politician, I'm speaking now, like a true politician was, well, it's not illegal, prostitution's not illegal. Well, Matt, you better open up your books. You better open up your books.
We really need to go to the question right now, or we will...
Do you want me to quote you the bylaw when the prostitutes are soliciting in the parks?
You have 10 seconds to ask the question, or I will...
parks.
So the question is, what are you going to do about prostitution in the park?
Maybe a bit of lighting, maybe police.
Perfect.
You have done nothing.
Thank you very much. Mr. Fleury, you are first on this question.
Thank you for your question, and it is a tough issue because prostitution or sex trade workers, we all struggle with the impact of violence, of addictions, of mental health. We need a comprehensive approach, and I'm chair of Ottawa Community Housing. We are the biggest landlord in our city. We have 15,000 units, 32,000 residents that every night live in our communities. And we have a building at Richelieu Court, which was becoming very problematic in terms of drug use and prostitution. Now, that community was all single bachelors. OCH is now part of the solution. It's reinvesting to bring families into those buildings, into those communities. We'll continue to struggle where there is a demand, and we need the work of the community, our efforts. We need the solution of the Ottawa Police, and we need to help the women get off the street, get the supports, get the housing, get the addictions treatment that is much needed.
Thank you very much. Mr. Lowe, you are next. I didn't forget you.
It's me? Okay.
It's your turn, Mr. Lowe.
Yeah. Has anyone here heard something called FIDO? FIDO? It stands for F It, Drive On. The cops are more concerned that they'll get in trouble for making busts than to physically doing them. If you're doing something illegal, you should be arrested. Where I'm from, we have what we call cruising laws. That if a person circles the block more than, like, say, 3 or 4 times and they're from out of state, they get pulled over. And it's not profiling. Like, I notice you're cruising 3 or 4 times in a high crime rate area. We notice that you're from out of town. Your address doesn't come up to here. Are you lost? Perhaps we can help you. Or are you, you don't have to get in there. Even that much will deter them. But it goes to police presence. Presence patrols, more cops, more boots on the ground, more John busts, and harder for Johns. If they get caught, they go to school. And if they get caught again, they get a fine. I think we're supposed to be on a European model of harder punishments for Johns that get caught, but we're back to the old John school crime thing, I think. But yeah, more boots on the ground.
Thank you very much.
And arrest them. You just got to arrest them, man. You do something wrong, you arrest them.
Thank you.
I get arrested.
Mr. Harris, it's your turn.
Yeah, so what's happening on Montreal Road, what's happening sur La Fontaine, moi j'ai parlé avec les travailleuses du sexe qui sont sur ces rues-là. Je leur ai parlé personnellement. J'ai tenté de faire une approche et ce qu'ils m'ont dit souvent, c'est que je me sens plus en sécurité dans la rue que je me sens chez nous. Et ça, c'est un problème qui est majeur parce que si une personne se sent plus en sécurité en vendant ses services dans une rue, où en sommes-nous rendus dans la société où c'est le cas? Et ça, c'est la réalité. Qu'est-ce qui se passe à Vanier? And there are slumlords and there are people who are putting pressure on these people who are part of our community, and we are not giving them an opportunity to succeed. If there is a place where they can do the business in a safe and secure manner and in a manner where they're not going to be in our parks, then let's build that place, let's get it out of the street, and let's house those people. Let's help them. Let's include them in the community because they are part of our community. let me be very clear. They are part of our community.
Thank
On ne peut
you.
pas faire l'autruche. Il faut avoir une compassion envers
Great.
ces gens-là. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you. Mr. Kucherapa.
Yes. Hi, everyone. So I'm... Can I bend down a little bit? Yeah. A little taller. Hi, everyone. My question is going to be quite succinct. I'm thinking about the future, 2019. What are your plans to ensure that Montreal Road is in the center of the distribution of cannabis stores for the entire city of Ottawa?
Isn't? Is or isn't?
Is not going to be.
Okay, because you said is, so.
Thank you very much. Mr. Lowe?
Okay, it's going to be a surprising answer for me on this. I actually support the cannabis stores and privatization. I know somebody in my life that has a medical card, and it helped them. However, with that being said, we need a limited number, distance between, so many per ward, inspected by the health department, controlled by law, and prosecuted by police when they cross the line. And that's my position on it. Now, it's funny because now they can be part of the QVBIA.
They already are.
Well, there you go. A lot of these people, they pay taxes, they pay salaries, they raise food for food bank. You know, I know they're running in the shade right now, but in a few months, a few days it's going to be legal practically. Yeah, so I support these guys. You know, I think that it should be regulated and controlled in a reasonable way. It's here. Now we can try to benefit from some of the levies. We can lean on these guys for the community. We can have some of this money coming back in the community.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mr. Harris?
So I'm not against the sale or consumption of
Can
cannabis.
we ask for some quiet in the audience, please? Thank you.
Je reconnais le potentiel économique de cette nouvelle industrie. However, I would not be supporting any cannabis shops in our ward at this time. I don't think that we are ready over here. I don't think the regulatory framework has been established. My idea was to license these buildings so that we can have maintenance plans, and before we give them a license, we would have community consultations in terms of where they would be and how they would be installed in our community. And right now, the provincial government has taken that power away. It's going to be the same as getting a liquor license, and I don't want to sit on my hands. I want to be proactive and fight for that law. That would be the number one thing when we come in, is to fight for a law that Ottawa can control these commerces in our own backyard, and we need to have that license to be able to do so and not give away the power to the province. This is our streets. We should control what's going on over here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your question, Peter. You and I work closely on Bill 59, which is, in the community, we work very closely to gain the authority from the province to restrict the location and the number of those payday loan establishments. And Peter Kucherapa was the main lawyer who worked with us in the community to bring those restrictions. The city is currently reviewing that, and in November of this year, we will have a final report that will have its impact citywide in terms of separation distances, in terms of cap, and in terms of the City Hall approach on zoning relating to those stores. I think the same model applies to cannabis. I was in favor of the Wynne government's approach in initially going towards an LCBO model. We have no issues with LCBO. They're located across the city. They don't stigmatize a main street. They don't stigmatize a neighborhood. And we know we have one point of contact if or when there are issues. The provincial government, the Ford government, not only is changing the model, but they're also downloading the issue onto cities without the powers onto cities to control the location and number.
Thank you very much.
Bonsoir.
La prochaine question.
Donc moi j'habite aussi à Vanier. Je suis de la communauté qui habite.
Il faut parler plus proche, s'il vous plaît.
Mon nom c'est Ismaël Awale. Donc j'aimerais poser question aux trois candidats. On remercie ceux qui nous ont donné l'opportunité avec, ça veut dire avec tous les habitants du, je veux dire, Vanier. Je vais passer à la question, je vais un peu respecter ce qu'on m'a dit. Donc, comment vous pouvez protéger les locataires du LCO ça veut dire, chaque année, il y a des augmentations vraiment qui est inattendues et qu'il y a il y a des expulsions aussi. donc le loyer et l'expulsion illicite. Donc c'est ça qui est vraiment que quand on parle à beaucoup de nos amis communautés et les familles, les parents, ils disent qu'il y a, comme on dit, problème d'expulsion et puis ils n'arrivent pas à payer le loyer qui augmente chaque année.
Parfait. So, quick translation, just so you understand, Mr. Lowe. They're asking questions. He is asking a question about the rising rates of rentals. Alors, sorry, it is actually Mr. Harris's turn to begin, though. Pardon? Did I miss something else? Rising rates of rental costs. Oh. That is the question. The rising rate of rental costs.
Yeah.
Right?
So.
And Mr. Harris, sorry? It is your turn to begin.
Alors, merci pour la question, très importante. Nous avons un problème dans la ville d'Ottawa. Nous ne comptons pas les locataires qui sont évictés et qui sont expulsés à chaque année. Nous ne faisons même pas le compte des endroits que nous perdons. Et ça, c'est un sérieux problème. Moi, je dis, si nous ne pouvons pas le mesurer, nous ne pouvons pas approcher le problème et proposer des solutions tangible solutions that will go ahead and to resolve this problem. I do not believe in the ultimate power of a landowner. I believe in the power of a tenant, and there are many tenants before, and there will be many more tenants as the cost of living rises in our community, especially in Ottawa. And we have to lead from the front on this city, and we have to be proactive and have plans in place that will protect tenants. One of them that I had was a rental bank, where if you're losing a bit of your paycheck and you don't have enough to top off at the end of the month, you can go ahead to that bank, you can borrow some money, vous pouvez emprunter, et ça va vous aider à arrondir votre fin du mois et pour pouvoir payer pour ça. On l'a à Vancouver, on l'a dans les différentes villes, c'est quelque chose qui... Merci.
Mr. Fleury?
Merci pour votre question. We have David McCarron in the audience, who's worked at OCH for many years, and who could be a resource for us at this point in terms of those details. And I'm not sure specifically in terms of how the increase work. My understanding is it's very specific to the rates in terms of rent geared income, in terms of the ODSP, in terms of the Ontario Works. So those rates are set in that regards. The one that I'd love to understand a bit more of what you're asking is around evictions, because we take evictions very seriously. We are a landlord, and we follow the landlord-tenant board regulations. And we don't just go in terms of an eviction. We have resources with our partners, Options by Town, some of our tenant workers. We work with residents so that they can be so that their tenancies can be very successful. But if you have examples, I'm glad to learn more and to work with you.
Thank you very much. And finally, Mr. Lowe, your turn.
Honestly, we have a better chance of improving the conditions of these apartments and the rent, because you can't really control what a person charges for rent. That's just capitalism. And we are I mean, you can probably...
No.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what those laws would be. I'd have to research that more, but I know from my point is I hate snowboards. This guy's all over. I hate the snowboard factors of it. And I think that we should work on conditions. Inspections of apartments and complexes, like the place I live in right now is having a rat problem. They poison them, they're dying in the walls, we got rats. I think we could have a better chance of improving the conditions, though, than the rent price right now, in my opinion. So I'd like to hear what Mr. Terry has to say about it, because apparently I'm not up to date on what he has. But I think, in my opinion, we can improve the conditions before we can improve the rent rates right now.
Thank you very much. Prochaine. C'est ça, on vous a déjà... Oui, je vais passer par M. Harris. Alors, si je comprends bien, je vais stipuler, mais Suzanne, tu as déjà posé une question, mais tu la poses au nom de quelqu'un qui est malade et qui ne peut pas être ici. Oui. C'est ce que je viens de clarifier. Alors, on vous laisse poser la question. Otherwise, so she's asking a second question, but it's on behalf of somebody that's sick and can't be here. Yeah. So we will allow this question in this case.
So, Crystal would like to know, what is your vision of reconciliation with the indigenous communities of Vanier? We have two large communities. So what is your vision for reconciliation?
Great question. Thank you. Mr. Fleury, it is your turn to begin. Is that right? Yes, that's right. It is your turn to begin.
You asked in English, right, Suzanne? Sorry, I'm bilingual sometimes. You asked your question in English, yes. So we are on unceded Algonquin territory. We do have a very strong, very large population of Inuit here in our community. We have amazing organization, the Children Inuit Center on Macarthur, the Wabano Center for our First Nations. And, one of the elements that's important is around opportunity. Opportunity for housing, opportunity for employment, opportunities to engage with our community, and whatever I can do to remove barriers on all of that front, on all of those fronts, I will absolutely do. It's important for us, and that was an important fight that was just outside of our community, but that we fought collectively with our neighbors around Rideau High School. Rideau High School had a special program, a special room for our Inuit community, and we lost that program. We lost those services. That goes quick.
I know.
We should have a timer.
I know. I said do. Exactly. It's me. I'm the timer.
Sorry, Suzanne. I didn't finish the answer.
Mr. Lowe, up to you.
I think it goes back to just a fair chance for everybody. We need to work with a lot of the tribal leaders just to find out what the problems are in the community. I know that I speak a lot with a lot of the indigenous people. I, in fact, have indigenous in my own bloodline from Appalachia, Cherokees in our family. But we just need a fair chance and a better shot. Everyone needs a good shot at this. We need to work with tribal leaders and get them more involved in community services and community meetings like this and let them express to us what the problems is. You tell us what you need and how can we fix it. But we really need communication among each other, especially these communities.
Thank you very much.
I'm fast to the point. I'll keep it to the point, guys.
I like that. Thank you. I like not having to scold you. I appreciate it.
I'm not here
Mr.
to make a
Harris?
speech. I'm here to give you an answer.
Mr. Harris.
Oui, merci. Thank you for this question. This is the most, I believe, in Ottawa's identity in the next 50 years. The most important question that can be asked is the Indigenous and Inuit issue. It is going to define this capital. We will heal this community, and peace and reconciliation will happen right here in Rideau-Vanier. I will work every single day for that. Look at the folks in the room over here. Go to St. Margaret's Church. Go to Igloo 206. Go to the place where they are helping Inuits, are serving Inuit people in that community. There is a movement right now where people want to heal this community. The Wabano is another very special place, but there is more than that that's happening, and the city has to lead on this issue. We did something, in my mind, which is criminal, which was at the Victoria Island, give this to a developer and have this go to be a condo place where it was supposed to be a place of peace. This is absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. And I will work every single day to heal this community. I am doing it already, and it is something I wish you could see the beauty that's there. C'est très important.
Merci.
Et puis, il faut le faire. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you. We are now at Mr. Harris to begin.
Excellent.
Closing statement. So just a reminder, you will be given 2 minutes to close. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you, everybody. Merci d'être ici ce soir. Nous sommes dans une démocratie. Nous sommes un pays dans une capitale fédérale. Et ici au Canada, nous sommes la capitale fédérale. Et je suis honoré de pouvoir me présenter. Je le fais de bon cœur et de bonne foi. Et j'aimerais dire que pour qui, whoever you want to vote for over here, this is not anything personal. This is something that we're all fighting for ideas for the community, and we have to give ourselves a big round of applause. So let's do that. Let's give ourselves for everybody that's at this table. Okay? There is nothing personal over here. I have nothing personal versus Mr. Fleury or Mr. Lowe. But why I'm running is for the following. We have some issues at stake in this election that can change the way that our city will be run for the next few years and for the next 10 years and 20 years. This will have immense consequences on what Ottawa will see itself as a nation's capital. Il faut, premièrement, voir où nous en sommes et arrêter de jouer la victime tout le temps et puis se tenir droit et puis se dire que nous pouvons, we can lead from the front, from this city. We can be proud of who we are in Rideau-Vanier. We can do this together, and I will be a person who is one amongst others. I am not somebody who wants to put my face everywhere, who wants to put my name everywhere. I am doing this because I believe in this community. I am doing this because you are worth it, we are worth it, and together we can achieve something. So let's have some hope. Okay, let's have some pride in terms of what we're doing, and let's go beyond asking for the minimum all the time and set the standard at where it should be. This is a rich country. We are a nation's capital. Let's work together and let's make it happen. On October 22nd, think of the choices that you're making. Are you going to want to keep business as usual and keep going in the same way, or are you going to vote for some change? Vote for some change. Vote for me, Mr. Thierry Harris, and thank you very much. I appreciate your time and your confidence.
Thank you very much. Monsieur Fleury?
Alors, merci à tous et à toutes. Merci d'être venus, de participer à l'engagement civique. C'est un plaisir pour moi de travailler pour vous, de travailler avec vous. On a accompli de grandes choses ensemble. Je vous invite, notre premier dépliant, c'était certaines de nos réalisations pour la communauté de la Basse-Ville, de la Côte-de-Sable et de Vanier. Spécifiquement dans Vanier ici, avec plein de projets, là, le pont à Daway, avec... évidemment, le parc optimiste.
Je vous demande un peu de respect.
Avec les 16 rues résidentielles. Là, maintenant, c'est regardons nos priorités. Alors, on a une vision pour Vanier. On a une belle vision pour Vanier. Puis c'est avec vous, c'est travailler ensemble. Our priorities for Vanier, very clear. Housing and homelessness. The city needs to lead, to coordinate, and to innovate. Montreal Road, infrastructure renewal, from the bridge, right through Saint Laurent, a brand new street, brand new look and feel, something that can make us all proud. And at the same time, for the first time ever, bringing a community improvement plan to incentivize new businesses along the corridor. We want to improve our parks. Redoing Riverain Park is our next priority. We've done Optimist, now it's Riverain. And finally, improve transit. We want transit to be a lifestyle in our inner urban communities, specifically here in Vanier. Alors, je vous remercie. Pour nos priorités dans Vanier, si vous voulez en savoir davantage, je vous invite à visiter mon site web, mathieufleury.ca, puis on a aussi des dépliants à la sortie. Merci. Merci à tous et à toutes, puis je vous invite à voter le 22 octobre prochain.
Merci beaucoup. Merci. Mr. Lowe, I am not forgetting you this time. You have 2 minutes and you get to close out the night.
Hey, thanks, guys. Okay, real quick here. The United States is my country of birth. Canada is my country of choice, and Vanier is my home.
Beautiful.
Merci. You have 3 people in front of you tonight. One person has 8 years to make change and develop this into one of the better places in Canada. It already is a great place. We just dust it off a little bit. Another person who's real active in the community and a little bit more professional than me. They have me, the resident, the rough one here. I'll say I'm not as polished as the other two. I'll give you that. We may not have as many signs out. We didn't start early putting our signs out like some people did. But I'm passionate about my community. I'm passionate about these issues, and I think I can make a change. Somebody asked me once if you had to give up your citizenship to run in this election, would you? And I said, make a choice, my country or my community. And I'd have to choose my community because I did enough for my country as a veteran. And I think I have a lot to offer this community in leadership, direction, administration, and just, I can do this. And I ask for your help to do it. I'm really sincere. I'm not one fly-by-night kind of guy. And I hope in 4 years, if I haven't developed this into the true French Quarter, stop crime, stop the Salvation Army, and made this just the diamond to shine in Ottawa like it truly is, I will not run for re-election. Merci. Au revoir.
Thank you so much.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.